So in today's episode of the Kirk Miller Podcast, I'm going to share with you some questions and a framework that is going to help you stay on track this summer with your health and your body goals. At the time of this episode, it's towards the end of July. We are knee-deep in the thick of summer. And notoriously, from all my experience having coached for a hell of a long time now, this is the period when most people go to shit with their body, with their weight, their confidence, their energy. Basically, those New Year goals people have set, that ship has well and truly sailed. Or for many people, they've gone on holiday in shape, but they don't know what to do to stay in shape and maintain, or more importantly, meet their expectations of how they want to feel and how they want to look and the energy and the confidence they want to have. But what I'm going to do in this episode as well is cut it in half. So the framework I'm going to share with you, I did on a training about a week ago to my Built to Last community. We have live trainings every single week from myself, my coaching team and speakers, etc., that are relative to that season and period of the year. We try and provide solutions to challenges and answers to questions that are more prevalent at that period of year. Because as I've banged on about many times before, there are different seasons, and for me, there needs to be different tactics and different reminders at these times. But I'm fully aware that if you're anything like many of our clients who are entrepreneurs, business owners, and summer season is very precious, very delicate with time with family, certainly during the holiday periods, I want to keep this episode short and sweet. So I'm going to split technically this training that I did for our clients in two. Okay. So I encourage you to tune into next week's episode 4. It's going to be the daily framework of how to stay on track this summer. What I'm going to go through with you today is the weekly framework. It's going to be literally a handful of questions. Right? Why are questions so important? Questions help you reflect on what's going well, what's not going well, and more importantly, what you need to do, what you need to choose, and what you need to focus on to meet your expectations and move closer towards that goal that you're striving for, or more prevalent to this training, simply stay in shape. A lot of people do not know what questions to ask themselves. And if you don't know what questions to ask yourself, you'll end up winging what you need to do and have reactive behavior, especially when it comes to food. So to kick off, as I said to my clients on this training, what's really, really important, if you are someone listening to this who really wants to stay on track with your health and fitness goals across the summer without compromising fun, you need to remind yourself on what is it from an expectation perspective that will keep you happy. A lot of people end up drifting off with their health goals because they don't know where they're going. They don't have a clear vision and a target and a blueprint in their mind of what it is they're trying to feel by looking a certain way in relation to their health. So the 3 questions, I'm going to share these again next week before I go into the daily framework. The 3 questions I encourage you to ask yourself right now are this. What was your summer health and body goal? And does it still matter? It's impossible to stay on track with our movement targets, food targets, sleep targets, training targets if we don't know what our goal is. If we don't know what the outcome is, we certainly aren't going to have an awareness of what the process should be. But what was your summer health and body goal, and does it still matter? A lot of people forget the value of that goal, which is why they don't follow through on it. But look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, does it still matter to me? Second question, how do you want to look and feel at the end of summer? Right? The reason I share this question is surface level goals where someone may say, okay, I want to be 85 kilograms. I believe without attaching an emotion behind that metric, you will not hit that metric. Because deep down, when we're trying to hit a metric or a performance target, it's because we believe it's going to make us feel a certain way and perhaps enhance our life in a certain way. But how do you want to look and feel, and more importantly, feel at the end of the summer? Fast forward to the end of the summer. What will make you happy? Third question. You need a why. Right? What I would say in relation to your big summer health and body goal, have a strong why behind it that relates to your personal life. Have a strong why behind it that relates to your physical shape, and have a deeper why that is emotional. Right. So in relation to how you want to look and feel at the end of the summer, what is the personal reason? What is the professional reason? What is the physical reason? And what is the emotional reason? Your personal reason could be something like, I need to be in great shape at the end of the summer because, and feel great about feeling great shape in the summer because it makes me feel better in my relationship. It makes me enjoy sex more. Your professional reason, by being in shape at the end of the summer, still full of energy, you'll be able to attack the final third of the year with more intent. You might be more productive at work, get more done, really finish the year strong when you're working towards your professional targets. But the reason this is important is it's going to give you more internal motivation and drive to stay disciplined even over the summer if you know that these things are going to contribute towards better performance in business, better mood in relationships, or even from the physical why might be simply more energy. The emotional, more confidence. But we need to get clear. And having coached for so long now, the reason people do not follow through on their goals and they don't stick to them is there's not enough deeper meaning behind those goals. Now I'm going to shoot to the weekly framework. There's 6 questions, and you might not need to use them all. But as I share with our clients, I believe if you literally took 10 minutes max on a Saturday or a Sunday to ask yourself these questions, you would go into the following week with razor sharp clarity, what you're aiming for and what you need to do to meet that target, and how you need to manage yourself around business, socials, whatever you have that week. First question is this. In relation to the remainder of the weeks left in the summer, right, I would ask myself at the end of each week for the following week, is this week an accelerate, maintenance, or a decline week? What do I mean by that? This is breaking things down logically, as I shared with our clients. Right, if you were to rewind back to the start of the summer, there's 12 weeks approximately across the summer. I really believe that the reason so many people go to shit with their health and shape and put on loads of weight, feel like shit at the end of the summer, they haven't got a clear expectation of the way they're going to manage each week. It's sort of blasé. It's you're sort of winging it. Whereas if you can break down each week and go, right, can this week be an accelerate week? An accelerate week for me is when maybe you have less socials, less travel, and you are in an environment where you can control your food, what you eat, how much you eat, basically maybe prep your own food or dictate how much you eat and what you eat with whoever's making it for you. You can get all of your sessions in with full volume, without stress. You've basically got less on. So you can adhere to your training, your food, and management of you a lot more adherent. So you might be able to make a bigger dent in your fat loss if that's your goal right now. You might be able to lift more weight in the gym if that's your goal right now. For a maintenance week, for many people, simply having more maintenance weeks across a summer is going to keep them on track. Many of our clients, they've never been in shape or stayed in shape across the summer before they joined. So obviously those weeks prior to joining us across the summer were decline weeks, which no one wants to have, where they're consistently putting on weight, sloppy with their training standards, or inconsistent, maybe not even training, or just eating whatever they want and going to shit, certainly Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday across weekends, drinking too much, eating too much, right? So maintenance week for me is literally having a pulse check on your food and your training. So you're still eating well, you're training well, but you might have more social occasions on those weeks. You might have a wedding, you might have a barbecue, you might have a holiday. So a win for many people is simply maintaining your shape, or being okay with even putting on maybe a pound or two the other side of a holiday, but you've had fun, but you've still kept active, you've still trained, but you've just managed your expectations a little bit better and realize that, look, you're not going to change the world or break records during that week or make a monumental dent in your fat loss, but you've stayed on it. And one of the biggest flaws in entrepreneurs and industry leaders that we coach is they're all or nothing. They're on it or they're off it, as I've said many times before. But this framework, that question of going, right, is this week, right, for the remainder of the summer, within the remainder of the summer, is this week an accelerate week, a maintenance week, or a decline week? And I don't believe anyone who values health and values how they want to feel wants to have a decline week where you're just completely off it and go into shit. And look, if you're okay with that, that's okay too. Having a week where you just down tools, eat what you want, drink what you want. But don't give yourself too much work to do the other side, or don't have a decline week if you're not prepared to deal with the emotional and the physical consequences the other side of that, where you can't pick yourself up again. Second question. What is your number one health expectation this week? Just get clear. What is your number one health expectation this week? For me, I encourage you to make that more process-based. What do I mean by that? As we share with our clients, I think having a clear health expectation that is process-based is going to keep you consistent that given week. So for some of our clients who might be struggling with sleep, them going into a week, having a clear expectation of going, right, I'm going to sleep 7 hours minimum every single night this week. It's clear, it's measurable, and it's a yes or no answer at the end of the week. Another clear health expectation might be, I'm going to track my calories with 100% accuracy this week. That might be the thing that creates the ripple effect on everything else. You might do it with steps. You might have a clear metric of going, right, I'm going to hit 12,000 steps every single day without negotiation this week. Get my words out. Might be training. I'm not going to miss a session. I'm not going to miss a set. Whatever it is, pick the one thing that is going to help keep your head, your health, and your body in a great spot at the end of the week. Because there's nothing more empowering than going or setting an expectation and then meeting that expectation. Third question. And why is this important to you? As I've just said, you need to have a why when you set a goal. Unless that goal is just something so strong and you know you're going to do it over and over again, like, that's fine. But most people need a bigger emotional driver behind a goal. Or you make it a lot more easier when you're clear on the why behind the goal. And in relation to that question that I've shared with you, that, and why is that important to you? Write or say 5 reasons minimum. A lot of the time, people might be able to answer why a goal is important just once. But if you can stack multiple reasons why that expectation, that goal is important to you, you are significantly more likely to follow through on it. Fourth question, and this is what we continually probe with clients, and this is like a logical question. Look at your week's calendar. Is this realistic or not? In relation to the health expectation you have that given week, does your calendar make that realistic to do or not do? Because anyone can set a goal. The amount of people that say, I'm going to have this perfect week. I'm going to get all my sessions in. I'm not going to eat any shit. I'm going to sleep 7 hours. I'm going to get 70,000 steps in. Anyone can say it, but there is nothing more disempowering than when you look at your calendar and it totally contradicts that expectation. You are just preempting failure. So in relation to looking at your week's calendar, is this realistic or not? What I mean is, in relation to the food options you have and the environment you're going to be in for the next 7 days and what you are willing to do, right? So when you look at your goals, your targets for that week, look at your calendar granularly. Look at the environments you're going to be in. Look at the food options you have available. And then ask yourself, is this environment, are these food options that I have available likely to make that goal of that week happen or not? Or am I being deluded? Do I need to lower the bar a little bit with my expectations? And more so, are you actually willing to do the work? Are you actually willing to make the choices aligned to that expectation? If you know in your heart you're bullshitting yourself, lower the bar with your expectation. Does that need to be a maintenance week? Because this is where people fall off. And then the fuck it mentality comes on. Once you get to Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and you know you're not quite on target, a lot of people, even the highest of performers in business, can just down tools and go, fuck it, I'm going to start again next week. No one wants to do that. I'm yet to look a person in the eye who has down tools and said, fuck it, for a few days or a week or maybe 2 weeks and gone, I really enjoyed downing tools and doing nothing with my training and my food. Fifth question. What day and ideally time this week coming poses the biggest challenge to you meeting your expectation this week? So what day and time this week poses the biggest challenge to you meeting your expectation this week? This is basically forward planning. Everyone has certain days and times that might be different each week, but for many people it's reoccurring each week where they have certain environments, certain times of the day that really influence their habits for the worst, especially around food and drink. So if you are evaluating on a Saturday or a Sunday, right, what days and times do I feel might impact the foods I eat or how much I drink or contradict the goals and how I want to feel? How can you forward plan better? So second part to that question is, what will you do right now to overcome it? So if you know you've got something coming and you're in an environment and you know that habitual environment is the place, or those people are the people that influence how much you eat, how much you drink, for worse, and you don't have confidence you can control it, what are you willing to do about it? What choices can you make? If you know you're going to let loose a little bit, can you be even stricter pre and post that social event or that time? Then the last question, what is the one key health habit you need to start your day with this week? And how will you remind yourself to do it? Everyone has, from my experience, one thing that when they do that thing first thing in the morning, they generally have a better day. They generally perform better in business, and they generally eat better for the rest of the day. They manage themselves better for the rest of the day. It influences their state. What is your one thing? What is that one health habit that when you do it, you know you just operate better that day, you eat better that day, and you feel just as good at the end of the day as what you do at the start of the day. Okay, but what can your health habit be every day for that given week? And it might be different across certain weeks. For many people, we've advised who are away right now with our clients, we've just said, look, get your training in first thing, and then you can enjoy the rest of the day with your family. It doesn't have to be a longer session, but just do it without compromise. Yet that same person, their lifestyle when they're maybe in London or New York or whatever city they're in, you've got clients all over, training first thing might not be their one primary health habit that is going to influence their day for the better. But what is your one health habit you need to start your day with on that given week that's going to match your expectations. So that's the weekly framework. I'd love to hear your feedback as always, but I promise you, if you go through that mini framework, those 6 questions, you'll likely train more and better than maybe what you previously would have done. You'll manage your food better. You'll manage your sleep better. Simply put, you'll feel better, and everything and everyone in your life, certainly on holiday, will benefit.